I got a sea before me, mountains on either side of me, and my enemy behind me. How am I going to do this? How am I going to make it out of this situation? But the testament today is, if God is with you, I don't care how bad the situation looks, his plan is to bring you out. His plan is to bring you out, and not only bring you out so ends can meet, but bring you out that it looks like you haven't even been in what you've been through. I'll bring you out to the point that it really is unexplainable. You really can't explain it. The English language don't have enough words, can't even define what he's getting ready to do for you. God is getting ready to lift you up, baby, to a point that all you can do is say, but God, it had nothing to do with me, but God, I know it looked like it was over for me, but God, I'm going through right now, but God, it don't look like I'm coming out, but God, it's dark right now, but God, I got a sea before me, but God, I got mountains to my left and right, but God, my enemy is on my trail, but God, I know they gave me the diagnosis, but God, I know I may be homeless right now, but God, I'm on the metro right now, but God, oh, but God, it's not me, but God. And see, the awesome thing about but, it disqualifies whatever's in front of it. Huh? I'm sick. Oh yeah, y'all caught on to it. I'm broke. My bank account is on negative. I done lost some friends. I got some enemies. Some family members tripping. I'm going through some troubles. I'm going through some trials. I'm going through tribulations. It's dark right now. I'm at the end of my rope. Yeah. So the next time you go into the doctor's office and they say, well, I got some bad news. Whew. Let me tell you, because, see, God doesn't work in making sense. He don't know how to do that. That's for us. We logically work through stuff. I got to see, it's like a puzzle. I got to see how this fits in this and fits in that. But God puts a triangle in a circle. We can never do it. But he puts a triangle in a circle and it fits well. And then you're looking, trying to figure out how in the world did that fit? I didn't even go to school, or am I qualified to get this promotion? But all of a sudden, my supervisor called me in and said, I've been looking at your work ethic. I've been looking at what you've been doing. I know you ain't qualified. I know you didn't go to school for it. But I want to give you this promotion. And not only that, I'm going to send you into school so that you can become qualified for you. That is what God can do. I know your credit score. It's not 700, 800. It's a 5. And you don't even qualify for the loan. But the loan officer calls you 3 days after they done denied you and say, I don't know how this happened. But as I was looking back over your paperwork, you are 100% qualified. But God, I know that you thought that your last relationship was going to take you out of here, and you didn't believe that you was beautiful anymore. You didn't believe that you was worthy anymore. But let me land this thing. She said, land it. I'm ready to go to baggage claim. Land this thing. The Bible declares down in verse 15 that God instructed Moses to ask the people a question. And if I can Davidize it, he was saying, ask them why they tripping. I done brought them out before. He said, ask them what they tripping off of, what they losing sleep for. I done brought them out before, and I'm the God that's the same yesterday, today, and forevermore. And so why are you tripping today and I brought you out yesterday? If I did it before, I can do it again. If I brought you out before, I can sure enough do it again. He told Moses to ask the people, why in the world are you tripping about what's going on now? He said, I brought you through slavery and I was there. I freed you from slavery and I was there. And now that you're in another tight spot, I'm still here and I'm still able. He said, listen, what you tripping off of? Because I done brought you out before. You done seen rough days before. You done ate on hot dogs and pork and beans before. You done been to the point where all you have is condiments in your refrigerator, mustard, ketchup, and relish. You done been there before. I done brought you out before. I'm not getting ready to leave you. He said, listen, tell them stop tripping. Tell them to dry their tears from their eyes. He said, Moses, stretch out your rod. That just tells us right there, you got everything you need. You got everything you need. Stop looking for external validation from somebody to validate you, to encourage you, to empower you, and tell you you are a child of the kings. Guess what? You are a child of the king. Stand up like you're royal, baby. Stand up like you understand and know whose you are and what you are. He said, stretch out your rod. Calm down and watch me turn things around. And I'm glad about that story, my brothers and sisters, because we can stand today and we can depend and look upon that story, but we can use it in 2013. I know it looks rough right now. I know it looks like you ain't getting ready to make it out. But God is saying, stop tripping. Stretch out your hand and use what I gave to you. Calm down, because I'm getting ready to bring you out. I'm getting ready to bring you forth. And the blessing is, just like the 3 Hebrew boys, when they came out of the fire, the Bible declared that their hair was not singed, nor that their cloaks or clothes smell like fire. But what the fire did was refine them. What the fire did was burn off some extra weight. When I say extra weight, I'm not just talking about physical fat, but extra weight of those friends that have been negaholics all your life. God is putting you in the fire so that you can lose some negaholics, some folk that are not encouraging, some folk that's always leeching off of you, some folk that don't have nothing good to say or good to think about. God got you in the fire, not only so he can burn off some excess weight, but so that you can look just like him. I'm going to tell you this story right here, and then we're going to land this thing. A fire is used for gold, and the gold maker continues to put that thing in the fire, and then he brings it out and he looks at it and he said, no, it's not ready yet. Then he puts it back in the fire, and then he brings it out, then he looks at it, he said, no, it's not ready yet. He puts it back in the fire and he pulls it out for the last time, and he said, yes, it's ready. Why is it ready? Because I can see myself in it. And that's what God is doing. He got you in the fire, he pulls you out and say, no, you're not ready yet. Put you back in the fire, pull you out, and then he sees himself and he says, yes, you're ready, you're ready, you're ready. That's the whole point and the mission of the fire and the stuff you're going through. God is just trying to see his reflection in you. The fire is not meant to kill you. If it was meant to kill you, you would have died a long time ago. Because some of us been in some fires. I ain't talking about a fireplace fire. I'm talking about a forest fire, an uncontrollable forest fire. It seems like every time it looks like you come out, you go 5 steps back. But God is just putting something on the inside of you that the world can't take away. I'm talking about anointing, baby. That's how you become anointed. When you go through hell and high water and you still come out on top. That's anointing. Anointing can break the yoke. Anointing can change things around. I was telling Pastor Matthew in the office, I thank God for his life, because you can tell the difference from gifting and talent. You see, giftings and talents will wow the crowd. Huh? It'll wow the crowd. I mean, the crowd will go crazy. That's what gifts and talents would do. But anointing will change your life. It won't be that, oh yeah, we had a good service. When you come out of anointed atmosphere, you'll say, baby, the way I was thinking yesterday, I don't think no more. What anointing will do is will make you look through your black book and call some friends and pronounce the benediction on it. You'll call some friends and they will say hello, and you will say, now unto him that's able to keep us from falling and to present us faultless before his magnanimous throne. Be all love, dominion, and power, now, henceforth, and forevermore. Bye-bye. That's what anointing will do for you. I'd rather be in an anointed service than a service with a whole bunch of gifts and talents. If I want gifts and talents, I'll go to the Verizon Center and pay $65 and buy a t-shirt and say I was there. But if I want a life-changing experience, I need to be under anointing. And so God is preparing us for anointing. God is preparing us for a life-changing experience. So the situations that you were in and the situation that you're currently in is only preparation for where you're going. The greater the pain, the greater the anointing, baby. Huh? 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 The greater the pain, the greater the anointing. Because the greater the pain, the greater the faith that you have in God. Because you know when it's you bringing yourself out. You know when it's your money, when you slip a $20 in their hand and they get you through. But when you done been through some things, and some of us, there's some things that we've been through we ain't told nobody about. Because if I told you some of the things I've been through, and not only what I've been through, what I'm currently going through, if I just told you, you wouldn't even believe. And so it's no problem. I'm not going to even tell you because it will waste my time. But you will have greater faith in God once you come out of that thing, baby. Once you come out of that, you will be able to stand with anointing, with authority. You'll be able to stand up against every demon, every warlock, every witch, every devil that try to come your way and deny you to your blessing. You'll be able to say, I done been through that before. I can do it again. Don't put nobody in front of me that ain't been through nothing. Because you can't tell me nothing, because your testimony will be from a book. Baby, I ain't got to read the book. I done been through a Red Sea experience. I done been through a fiery furnace. I done been through a jail moment. I done been through it. And so I'm not telling you a story that I just read. Yeah, I done been to divinity school, but I'm not telling you a story of something that I done learned in systematic theology. But I'm telling you some things that I've experienced. And because of that, I'm anointed, appointed with authority. I gave you my testimony before. There are moments that I didn't think that I would be here. March 16, 2001, when my mother went in the hospital in the morning and died that evening, I didn't think life would maneuver. When I went to my father's house and found out that he contracted HIV and AIDS back in the day and then died a month later, I didn't think life will continue. I gave up myself. And guess what? I had preacher on the front of my name, reverend on the front of my name, had been through divinity school, had been preaching for years. But at that moment, I didn't think I could make it because my mother's gone. You didn't prepare me, God, for my mother leaving, because this was my greatest supporter. You didn't prepare me for that. I was only 25 years old. I wasn't ready for it. I was in school full time, and my sister was in school full time in North Carolina. And the last time she had saw my mother was at Thanksgiving, and she died in March. And so I had to call my sister down in North Carolina to tell her to come home because Ma's dead. So I had that experience, but that was 2001. It's 2014 and I'm still standing. And because I'm still standing, devil, whatever you can throw my way, guess what? I'm able to get through it now, baby. You should have took me out in 2001. You should have took me out when I was down. You should have took me out when I was crying. You should have took me out when I was depressed. You should have took me out. But now that I done got away, now that I am on top, guess what? There's no devil in hell that can stop me. There's no devil in hell that can take me out. I got joy. This joy that I have, the world didn't give it, and the world can't take it away. Devil, you should have took me out then. But now I done found out that the God I serve is able. Is able. Is able. Is able. He's 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 able. Get that in your spirit. He's able through dark times. He's able through rough times. He's able through hard times. He's able. I'm crying, but he's able. I'm weary, but he's able. I'm giving up almost, but he's able. Nobody's there with me, but he's able. My hair is coming out, but he's able. I'm getting weak, but he's able. No matter what it looks like, he's able. He's able. He's able. He's able. He is able. So we're going to finish this year strong. Why? Because he's able. Whatever didn't happen, so what? He's able. You thought your business would be farther. That's okay. He's able. You thought that divorce was the end. Guess what? He's able. You thought that abuse that you never told nobody about because it was your uncle. But guess what? He's able. I know you're on psychotropic drugs right now. Abilify in the morning. Prozac in the evening. But let me tell you, he's able. You unemployed right now. You don't know where your next check is coming from. You got an eviction notice on your door this morning. But God is able. You've been trying to figure out because you've been faithful in church. You've been coming to war cry, your cry, everybody cry. And it seems like all you're doing is crying. But God sent me here today to tell you he's able. You say it's December and it hasn't come to pass. But I done told you before, God doesn't operate in time. He operates in eternity. We are confined by time, But God done already worked it out. It's already worked out, baby. So that's why the songwriter simply says, you ain't got to wait till the battle is over. You can shout right now because you know you have the victory. You know you're coming out on top. You already know you're the winner because the fight has been fixed. Calm down. Weep no more because God is going to bring you out. Look at your neighbor and say, neighbor, I don't care what it looks like. I don't care what you're going through. But do believe that God is able. 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 Weeping only endures for a night, but joy shall come in the morning. God is able. You're the head and not the tail. God is able. You're above and not beneath. God is able. You're the lender and not the borrower. God is able. You're victorious and not defeated. God is able. 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 Yeah. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. But everyone's standing in the building. Woo, Jesus. Jesus. I don't know who that word was for, but I know I'm the first partaker. I'm the first partaker. God, I thank you. God, I thank you. Every hand lifted in the building. I don't know what you need today. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what you're looking to God to do. But there may be some people under the sounds of my voice that your enemy is behind you. There are two mountains to your left and to your right. And there's a Red Sea before you. God is saying, calm down, because I'm able. I want you to open up your mouth in this place and cry out to God. Not God, feel sorry for me, but God, I thank you because I see myself coming out. God, I thank you because I see a way of escape. God, I thank you because I know I'm victorious. Open up your mouth in this place.
Thank you, Lord.
Thank you.
Thank you, Father.
Thank you.
Jesus.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lord.
Cry out, oh people. Cry out. Cry out. Cry out. Cry out. Cry out. Cry out. Cry out.
Jesus.
Cry out.
Jesus.
Don't give up on God.
Jesus.
He's the only thing that's consistent. We are not even consistent to ourselves. God is the only thing that's consistent. Don't give up on God. Because I guarantee you, this is the only thing that's 100% guaranteed. That if God promised it, it's coming to pass. It's coming to pass.
Yes.
You're going back to school. You're going back to school.
Yes.
You're getting ready to own that business.
Yes.
You're getting married.
Yes.
You're getting pregnant. It's able to happen for you this day. Don't give up on God. 'Cause he won't give up on you. Don't give up on God. Don't give up on God. 'Cause he won't give up on you. Oh, don't give up.
Don't give up on God.
'Cause he won't.
'Cause he won't give up on you.
This is what I want to do. I want to open the altar up and allow those to come that say, listen, preacher, you was talking directly to me. I've been freed from captivity, but now it seems as though I'm in a situation where the very thing or the very people that I was freed from are now after me. And before me, I can't see myself getting out. And I look to my left and to my right, I don't know. I want to open the altar up for you. We want to pray for you. Not only do we want to pray for you, we want to pray with you. That God will show you the strategic plan of your way of escape. Of your way of escape. We open up the altar. If that's you, come on forth. Come on forth. Come on forth. The pastors are going to pray. Not just for you, but pray with you. Because we're going to finish this thing strong. We're going to finish this thing strong. We're going to come out of this one strong. We're going to come out of this with a testimony, not a patty cake situation, but we coming out of this with power. Because we don't deal with patty cake demons. We don't deal with kindergarten demons, but we deal with sure enough strong demons, but we coming out of this one strong. We coming out of this one powerful. We coming out of this one on top. We coming out of this one with the victory. We coming out strong. We're coming.